Tropical Storm Rose is continuing to develop in the eastern Atlantic. Well, it hasn't really developed very much recently, so yeah, we have the public advisory, so it's still at 40 miles per hour. NHC thinks that it's not going to strengthen very much after this, and it's going to start weakening into a tropical depression by Thursday. Tropical storm force winds still extend only 35 miles from the center, so this is a pretty small system at this point. Pressure went up to 1,007 millibars, so that's a bit of a coincidence because Peter's pressure is 1,007 millibars. So, yeah, a little bit of a coincidence right there. But anyway, so yeah, it's moving at 16 miles per hour. Yeah, there's not going to be any hazards affecting land. It's going to stay out to sea. So that's the good news. This is the satellite imagery right here. You can see that convection still blowing up a little bit in the -70s, but it's not really getting anywhere when it comes to strength and intensity and everything. So, yeah, this is the cone. It's not expected to really strengthen that much. It could go up to 45 miles per hour, but yeah, the chances of that happening is pretty slim according to the NHC. So, yeah, that's going to make this turn. And first we're going to do the tracks, then we're going to do the intensity. First, the tracks are, unlike the last video we did on this, the tracks are in a lot better agreement on where it is going to go. So that is very good news, considering the models were so split, like 12, they were so split, like at the time of recording, like 12 to 18 hours ago. So like they were so split, like there were some models like over here, models like over there. Yeah, it was ridiculous. But thankfully, the models are now in agreement and having it turning at around 28 to 29 degrees north towards the northeast, and unlike all the other models that had just start shifting to the, I mean, the COTI has it moving to the west and everything. We can safely say this is an outlier. So, yeah. Here's the intensity. This majority of the models keep it at 40 mile per hour. Some have it strengthening slightly. Then the rest of them, some of them keep it at tropical storm strength. The rest of it, them have it go down to tropical depression strength. So that's the latest on the intensity. Here's the satellite imagery. I'm going to pull it back to 90 frames so we can figure this out. So, yeah, it's been bubbling up, and now it's bubbled up a little less so. So that's showing that its trend of strengthening has come to an end for a little bit. So, yeah, it's gonna start moving into more unfavorable conditions in the next few days. So that's no surprise either. So first thing we're gonna do is move this back to 30 frames, 30 images. So yeah, the first thing we're gonna do now we're gonna do the key takeaways. First key takeaway: no change to the advisory, although the pressure has gone up a little bit. Second key change: the cone hasn't really shifted that much. It has it turning by Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So, yeah, that's a little bit of a change if you consider it that. Third key thing to note is just all the models, except for the COTI, of course, are now in agreement on where this thing is going to start turning and when it's going to start turning. So we can so basically, all I can say is thank goodness that the models just now agree for once, unlike all that crazy stuff we saw earlier. So that's the third takeaway. Fourth key takeaway: this storm is expected to stay a tropical storm for a few days. It could strengthen up to a 45 mile per hour tropical storm. Like, a cap would be maybe 45 to 50 miles per hour. That's the cap of it. Like, I don't believe that this model has it going up to a 60 mile per hour tropical storm. It's not going to happen. So unless it shifts, this model has it shifting so far to the west, but that's likely not going to happen. So yeah, models either keep it at a tropical storm after that, or have it goes down to a tropical depression. Final key takeaway is that the convection is starting to look a little less impressive. I mean, it's still a pretty impressive looking system overall on the surface, but if you look deeper into the core where those -70s are, we're not seeing really the -80s we were seeing at the last video. We're seeing a couple here and there, but that's pretty much minuscule at this point. So Yeah, that's the latest on Rose. Be sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications for more updates.